Hello friend, welcome to Marine Engineering Hub. This is your narrator, Chief Engineer Ravi Gupta. Today we are going to talk about oil content meter. This is a very important equipment which you can see here. This is an oil content meter, which is a filtering type of sensor which sends the 15 ppm alarm and prevent the oily discharge overboard while pumping out the bilge water. So in today's video we will see what is an oil content meter, how an oil content meter works, what is the regulation of MEPC 10749 talks about the oil content meter, and what are the development in technology of a oil content meter. So in short, it is called OCM. So friend, Marine Engineering Hub is a platform which bring this type of video which will be beneficial for your examination purpose. So please do subscribe us. Your one subscription provide us a lot of encouragement to keep doing like this type of video. Friend, Marine Engineering Hub have also started the membership in which you can join and you can enjoy the exclusive perks and you can clear your examination more swiftly. So let's start the today video of oil content meter. So what is an oil content meter? So before understanding this question, let us first see the line diagram. So as you can see, from the oily water separator, the bilge water is coming here, okay, and after that it is coming here, and through this valve it is going to overboard. Now this is a diversion valve. This diversion valve and this valve is activated. It is a electronically controlled by this control sensor. Now this control sensor will send the signal that which valve to open. That depend upon this sample drawing. Once more I will tell you, the bilge water is coming from here, and depending upon the sensing of this sensor, which valve will be open, the water will flow to that side. In normal scenario, if the bilge water is okay, then this valve will be mainly always be open, and if the ppm is more than the required, then this valve will be open. This valve is diverting the water back to the bilge tank, and this is to the overboard. Now as you can understand, the whole flowing of the bilge water depend upon this sensing element. So let's understand how this sensing element work. So as you can see from here, while the water is flowing, a sample of water is coming down here, and it is flowing here and going to the bilge holding tank. So the water is coming from here, a sample is drawn and it's going to the bilge holding tank. Here is an ultraviolet light which is providing the light intensity, and here on the other side a photoelectric cell is provided. Now when the water is clear, which is drawn from a sample is clear, in that case what will happen? The light amount which is reflected will be more on the photovoltaic cell. So the more amount of light will get reflected from the photovoltaic cell and it will fall on that. So when the amount of light which is reflecting here is more, in that case it will reach the maximum desired value, and as it reaches the maximum desired value, it will open the overboard discharge valve and the water will flow to the overboard. Now let's suppose there is some oil element is there. Now when the oil element is there, in that case what will happen? The oil will absorb the lighting, and hence the light which is getting reflected will be less. The light which is getting reflected will be less, and therefore the photovoltaic cell will not receive that amount of light, and the maximum desired value will not be reached, and hence this valve will not be activated and this valve will open. Okay, and this valve will open and the water will go to the bilge holding tank. So what you can see, so if the maximum desired value is reached, then this valve will open, but if the maximum desired value is not reached, then this valve will be open. So this is how this OCM work. Now when the oil particle is there, suppose this oil is small like that, oil particle is there here. So as the oil particle is here, so what will happen? It will absorb the it will absorb. Suppose this is the oil particle in the water. Okay, so what will happen, the light which is falling here will get absorbed, okay, and will not reflect back here. Okay, so as it is not getting reflect back here, it is not reaching the maximum desired value, and hence it is not opening the over discharge valve, and failing to open the over discharge valve, this valve automatically get energized and it will give a visual light and it will give a alarm. Okay, so now this oil content, there is a limit. So what limit is there? The limit is 15 ppm. So if the limit is within 15 ppm part per million, in that case this maximum desired value will be reached and this valve will always open. So now let's see what I have written here. So what is an oil content meter? An oil content meter is a device for a real-time sampling and measuring of oil content in a moving stream of water. So if anybody asks you what is an OCM, so you should say it's a real-time sampling and measuring device. Okay, and now how an oil content meter works? So basically, as I have told you, the oil content meter work when a sample of water leaving the OWS is drawn off automatically and passed through a detector cell. So as you can see, the sample water is drawn and it is passed here. Okay, so now as a sample was drawn and passed here, a low power light shine a beam through the window in a side of a detector. This is transmitted to the water sample and picked up by a detector. So this is the detector. This is the photovoltaic cell which is picking up the light which is provided on the other side of the detector, and depending upon the value it will energizing. So as I have told you, pure water will only have a slight attenuation effect on the beam, whereas the oil will absorb the light. So the property of oil is to absorb the light, reducing the intensity and causing the detector to give an alarm. So I hope now you understand how this oil content meter work. So this is the actual total arrangement in the ship. So as you can see, there is a freshwater sample is there. So first, when we are before starting the OWS, what we do, first we draw the freshwater sample and first we test the calibration of the OCM, whether it is working fine or not. When the fresh water is given, the reading should be 0. Okay, so that we know that it's working fine. After that, what will happen, if whenever a surveyor comes, they sometimes say, okay, you reflect the alarm. So there's two ways. One is that manually we increase the value, or we obscure the light by object, like by inserting a brush from here, so that we obscure the lighting and hence it will give a alarm. So now what I mean to say here, what I mean to show you, we can see here the oily water is coming from here, a sample vertical sampling point is here, and it is drawing the sample from here. So before drawing the sample, you should first calibrate the OCM. After calibrating it fresh water, now you provide the sample. Now when the sample is provided, that will send the signal to the three-way valve. This three-way valve, what will do, it will either allow the water to go to overboard or it will divert it to the bilge, depending upon the value of the OCM. Okay, now there is a new regulation which is called MEPC 10749. Earlier it was MEPC 6033. So the new IMO MEPC 10749, basically it prevents the illegal over limit discharge that occur when the oil content meter is above 15 ppm. How it is doing? Either by shutting down the separator, they will shut down the pump, they mean to say, or by putting the separator into recirculation. So you can see here, most of the OWS is fitted with this three-way valve. Okay, means most of the OWS is fitted with a three-way valve, which will, what will happen when the value is greater than 15 ppm, when the value is greater than 15 ppm, it will give an alarm and it will divert the water to the bilge. But in some case what will happen, instead of three-way valve, what they have given the to shut down the pump. So they will send the signal instead of here to the three-way valve, they will send the signal to stop the pump, to stop the overall system and give the alarm. So this is how the thing work. Now let's see what is the development we have done in the OCM. So now the question comes to our mind that suppose there is a accumulation of dirt here. Suppose there is a accumulation of dirt here. Some silt has accumulated here. Okay. So now what will happen? The light, if the water, in fact, suppose the water is flowing from here is clear, but because of this dust, the light will not get reflected, and it will always give alarm. So what we do to avoid this thing, what we do, one thing we can do is that in the older model, what we are doing, you can see this cap. We remove the cap and we put a brush and we clean it. By cleaning it, we are cleaning all the accumulation here, and it is getting into the bilge holding tank. Now this was a earlier arrangement, but now there is a more development that is called fluorescent detection technology. This technology basically what advantage is providing, it is approved by the US Coast Guard to use under MEPC 10749. This work on a fluorescent detection technology is a new technology which help to use the oil containment in such a way that it is immune to the interference by turbidity or particle sediment. Means the light getting deflected back because of the sediment or because of the turbidity will not have no more impact on the oil content meter. The light which is getting reflected because of silt, alga, iron oxide, mud, or junk will not have a effect, because they will not have any effect on this technology. How? As you can see, this is geon lamp, okay, and this is the exciting wavelength is passing through the flow cell, and one is going to the monitoring side reactor, and one is going through the fluorescent to the emission wavelength. So because it does not fluorescence at the oil wavelength, they will not interfere and they will not give an high positive alarm. Okay, so this is how this technology works. So friend, in today's video you have learned that what is how an oil content meter work, what is an oil content meter, how we are providing cleaning, and what is the thing. Now what is happening, that is MEPC 10749 is recording in every 15 seconds for a period of 18 months the whole thing. Means whenever you are operating the OWS, the oil content meter is keeping a record for every 50 seconds for a period of 18 months. That will be checked with your ORV book. Okay, and as I have told you all the thing earlier, it will divert whenever the will reach more than 15 ppm. So friend, in today's video you have learned all this. If you think that you have gained something from video, please do subscribe and please do share. And if you are watching till now, I know that you want to clear the examination very quickly, very swiftly. So I request to all of you guys, please do take the membership, and you can watch the other video which are yet to be released, will be good for examination purpose. So I guarantee you we provide valuable content. So please pay the nominal fees and you can enjoy the other video and you can have a direct interaction with me. So please join the channel. Thank you.